I would really point to as what really then deepened my understanding of what justice is and the call to justice was what I learned from my students. It's the students who have pushed me to think more about the justice of what we eat, right? The justice of how we treat people who we've never met in foreign countries through the things we purchase. The justice, racial justice, the significance of racial reconciliation. Those very deep things which students are always struggling with and what they've really pushed me to think about. So that has all led me to flesh out my vision for what justice requires, and then to think about, well, what are we going to do about that when we enter into politics? And so when we're called then to love your neighbor, and we carry that into all the various parts of our lives, when we go into politics, the way we do that is to do justice for our neighbor. So that's what I'm calling for when I think about the Christian call to do politics. Is it frustrating? Yes. I'm sure other people on the panel will talk about too. You're constantly pulling your hair out, right? On the other hand, that's where we meet the other. And I think that's an important part of how we encounter and love our neighbor. But it's sometimes helpful to remember that the American system was founded in a revolution against tyranny, right? The Canadians sat that out. But what that means is that political authority was a problem to be overcome, right? Political authority was not seen as the way to get us justice, not so much. Rather, political authority was the problem. And if you read, say, things like the Federalist Papers, there's quotes like from James Madison suggesting, well, if we can get these politicians to fight among each other, separation of powers, then maybe they will leave us alone, right? It's a very negative view of politics, a very low view of politics. Well, I think the politics of the kingdom is much bigger than that, right? It does not necessarily mean that every solution to what the social problem is necessarily a problem. The solution is found in the state, but it does hold a view of the state which is potentially more positive than that. It talks about the potentials of politics in order that this may be a realm where we can pursue justice.